Hi everyone, it's Luke here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm joined by Damian from the Car Guys. It's been a while since we've actually filmed something together. I think it was probably when you picked up your TDF from Romans that time.
That was the one.
Which was kind of over a year ago now. But I'm here today to film an episode of Garage Goals. Now if you guys are unfamiliar with the series, I basically travel the world looking for the best car collections around, and I can assure you that today's episode is certainly no exception. So sit back, relax and enjoy some of the insane cars that Damian has in his collection.
So this is my 458 Speciale Aperta. I spec'd this car from new. It's based on the launch colour of this particular model, which is why you've got the triple layer yellow. You have the Nart stripe going over the whole car, which then fans out over the boot lid. I spec'd it, I then actually picked it up from the factory, and if you do that you get a special leather fob which has got factory collection written on it, and only the people that pick it up from the factory get that. Drove this all the way back from Italy. It looks incredible, this car, in this colour combination, and it's also the Speciale, so you've got all these more aggressive fins and foils and things that just make the car look a lot more purposeful. So it's probably one of the greatest Ferraris ever made. It's naturally aspirated, and it's never going anywhere as far as I'm concerned.
Now this probably has to be my favourite car in the collection, mainly because the TDF isn't here. Unfortunately that's having a service at the moment. But how long have you actually owned this car?
I have had this dusty beauty for 5 years. Yes, I had this car since 2013. It was pretty much the first major crazy bonkers car to go in the collection after my 355 Spyder. So I always wanted an F40. It's so iconic. This is just, the shape is instantly recognizable. It's not as dangerous or scary to drive or be in, but it is an enormous go-kart. It's a huge red gleaming go-kart with twin turbos and the sort of turbo lag and the sort of turbo shove that you only really get in Marvel films. So this is again one of the greats. I think any self-respecting car collector has got to have an F40 in the collection, and it is the fans' favourite. This is the 360 Challenge Stradale. Now, not a lot of people know about this. Those in the know, but it is one of Ferrari's greatest cars. It is a pure road racing car, and it's stripped out. It's based on the body shell of the 360, but that's where the similarities end. Everything about it is race derived. It's the rawest, most spine-tingling, most perfectly balanced car that Ferrari has ever made, and it comes with a soundtrack that is simply unbelievable. It's V8, but it is straight through one of the loudest, most beautiful sounds that comes from a Ferrari, probably right up there with the 599 GTO and the TDF. But,
correct answer. Sorry to interrupt, correct answer.
This one's in silver. I never really liked Challenge Stradales because most of them were in red, but when I saw one in silver it just looked completely different. It looked really subtle, but yet it's still got that stripe and it's still got the stance. If you look at a 360 compared to a Challenge Stradale, it's all about the stance. You can see the wheels are really tucked inside the wheel arches, and it's got a real mean, purposeful forward pouncing, like it's about to leap into action. And it completely changes the whole look of the car, and miracle upon miracles, it actually makes a Ferrari 360 look good.
Now probably the main thing which really drew myself to this car is the interior. Is that some sort of like special order, or is it?
I mean, it was optional in terms of colours and in terms of some of the things. You could have a radio or not a radio, or you could have a fire extinguisher, but they're all super stripped out. They're proper race cars inside. So when you sit in it and you fire up that noisy, clattery engine, it feels like you're in a proper 360 race car. And it has everything about it makes you feel like you're basically at Silverstone, just qualifying.
I mean, that's the thing with this. The 360 Challenge, well, this was inspired more so from the Challenge car than the standard 360, I suppose.
Yep.
So I'd say it's probably one of the most hardcore special series cars that Ferrari have ever made.
It's a real connoisseur's car, so you can sort of tell Ferrari people and the quality of Ferrari people as to whether they've got a Challenge Stradale and whether they really get at the Challenge
Yeah,
Stradale.
definitely.
And if they've got one, then you know that they're a particular type of connoisseur. It's not necessarily hugely showy. It isn't the most pretty car they've ever done, but it delivers in terms of delicacy and steering and power. So it's all about balance, this car. It's not the most powerful Ferrari you can get, obviously, but it can handle and it can carry the speed through the corners because the handling and the balance is so perfect.
And this one, like the other cars in the collection, you use on quite a regular basis.
Yep. I
Notice
took this
down
one
here.
up to, that's right, yeah, I took this one up to Scotland for the Tartan Florio with Supercar driver, drove it all the way up to Scotland, all the way around Scotland, and then all the way back from Scotland.
How many paracetamols did you take in
A
the...
lot. I'm not going to lie, a lot. 488 Ferrari 488 GTB. This one I got from New. It's in Rosso Fuoco, which is a particularly beautiful red that Ferrari does among its many reds. It's also got a Nero Daytona roof on it as well and side skirts. So it's a very pretty car, this one. But the main reason I've got this is so that I can swap it for a 488 Pista, which is coming in probably 4 or 5 months' time. So this one's very much a stopgap to get me into that car. It's a lovely car, very sophisticated, does everything you'd expect it to, and it is properly pretty and nicely spec'd. But I'm not going to lie, this one is going in favour of the Pista. Well, welcome to one of the garages. This one has got some of the other special cars. You can see it's quite an eclectic collection that I've got. It's not all just like brand new Ferraris. It's not all just supercars. There's also sort of quite quirky choices as well. So kicking off with this one. This is the first supercar I ever bought. Now this is my beloved 355 Spyder. A lot of people give me a bit of stick for the fact that it's a Spyder, but for me, when the roof is down, it is one of the prettiest Ferraris that they've ever made. It's just such a lovely, sleek shape, and put the tonneau cover on. It's just a fantastic summer car. I've driven all the way down to Italy in this car. I put the roof down in the UK, and I didn't put the roof back up until I'd gone down to Italy and all the way back to the UK. Absolutely fantastic. But this one I bought this car in 2003, and it had done 4,000 miles. It's now done just over 30,000 miles. I'll never sell it. It's the one, it's the only, it's the first one, and one of my favourite cars. But it might not be certainly not the fastest. It costs a lot to maintain. It's a little bit fragile, but when you get it on song and when it's revving all the way to 9,000 and the roof is down, is no finer car. Well, Luke, this is a very special car. This is my Lamborghini Gallardo Valentino Balboni. Only 250 of these were made. Only 10, we believe, or less than 10, are right-hand drive manual cars, which this is. Of those, how many of them are black? Maybe one, maybe two. So a very, very rare car. Scares the bejesus out of you, okay? Make no mistake, this is one of the most terrifying cars that you can drive, particularly in the wet. You've got 550 brake horsepower through just those rear wheels on this short little Gallardo platform. It is a very, very difficult car to handle. The normal Gallardo's four-wheel drive, it's all set up for four-wheel drive, and then Valentino Balboni, who was Lamborghini's legendary test driver, to honour him retiring, they gave him free rein to come up with a special edition. So first thing he did is get rid of the four-wheel drive system, have it only two-wheel drive, manual. These cars are not set up for manual, they're set up for two pedals only. So to try and fit a third pedal in one of these was very tricky. So it's quite a difficult car to drive, but insane V10 soundtrack coming out of this. And if you do get it right and you can keep it on the road, just so much fun. Classic Porsche 911, in this case the 930 Turbo. This is a 1989 car. It's a very rare G50 gearbox. It's in immaculate condition. It's only done 29,000 miles. I bought it at auction, somewhat foolishly, and it's been fettled now by Emblem sports cars, so it is now in perfect working order. I'm just about to do a video on my channel about this car, showing how I brought it back to full health and what a stunning classic 911 this is. There's a reason why the Porsche 911 has been going so long in a largely unchanged format, and this is a big part of its success. This was the classic yuppie whale-tail turbo from the 80s, and I absolutely love it. It's proper old school, this one. Last two in this garage, quite contrasting cars. So we have a classic Honda NSX here, which I spent a long time searching for, probably 20 years looking for the exact perfect spec. I wanted original pop-up headlight edition, one of the early UK cars. It's got black roof, it's silver, and it's manual. You'll notice most of my cars are manual, except for the ones where they don't give you a manual option, like Ferrari 458. This is the Italia, so this is the standard 458, if there can ever be a standard 458. What I love about this car is it was the gateway to me getting the Speciale Aperta, because when I bought this, it unlocked the special mystery Ferrari code that allowed me to be offered a special Ferrari. This one has Bianco Fuji paint, which is a triple layer pearlescent white with a grey roof, and contrasting roofs, particularly on 458s and 488s, make the cars look a lot lower, a lot meaner. So this one I've had from new in 2015. I've done 15,500 miles in it, so it has been properly well used, and I absolutely love this car. It is as close to a perfect usable supercar that you can get. Every car collection deserves an ultimate luxury car to be in there, so that if you need to go on a special journey or you fancy wafting along the motorway, you've got something to do it in, and this is mine. This is a Rolls-Royce Phantom Coupe, which means it's 2 doors, but it's still as massive as the normal 4-door version. Inside, it's piano wood, plush leather, it's got all the bells and whistles, all the gadgets. It's a refined, beautiful ride, and one of my favourite cars. This one looks like, I think if you're a James Bond villain, this is the car that you're going to have, and I absolutely love it. It's monstrous, it's difficult to park, but it's an awesome car. Really, really love it. Mclaren 675 LT. Possibly the only McLaren I'll ever own, but certainly the only one I've ever wanted up until now. Chicane grey, launch colour, green brake calipers. It's just an incredible stealth fighter, this thing. It's so good on the track. It's lovely around town. It's got all the right satin carbon on it. It just looks incredible, this car, and it drives even better. There's a reason why these are talked about in hushed tones. And 675 LT, even with the new 600 coming out, this has still got a special place, I think, in McLaren's heart and history, and it's set off nicely with a nice little personalised plate.
I don't know how you did that. You're so jammy.
You just have to pay a lot of money.
That is the perfect plate.
Secret to that. No one else was stupid enough to buy that and to put it on a car like this. But to me, I think it just makes it look unique. I think it's a real statement, I think. This is one of the workhorses of the collection. This is my everyday BMW 750. It's a V12, obviously. And again, a very smooth car, but I put a lot of miles on this. This was actually purchased with only 24,000 miles on it. It's probably one of the finest condition BMW 750s in the country, if not the world. But for me, it's a daily driver, so I do love this one. This is the latest addition to the Car Guy's garage. It's a Porsche 911 GT3 Touring, i.e. the one without the big wing. Something I very much wanted. I was not fortunate enough to get one, so I've had to buy it on the aftermarket. As you can see here, black all over, it's got carbon exactly where you want it, very sleek design. Because it's a GT3, incredible car, so fast, so accomplished. This is my current favourite, and I'm breaking it in. And this is another workhorse for the Car Guy's fleet. Some of you may recognise this as the challenge car that Jason took down to Portugal, so I bought this without his knowledge and surprised him in this very spot. But it's an RS6, so if you know your cars, That means it's a beautiful big estate car that goes as fast as a Ferrari, if not faster.
Dear. Right, yeah. F40 time.
Oh yeah.
This should be fun. Seeing it's such a nice day, may as well. Clank.
Yeah. So it's so hot, we might as well get in a car that has almost no air conditioning.
Logical choice. How do you put these on?
Is this your first F40?
It is. Like properly.
How's that possible?
I know. Been living under a rock. What I thought we'd do is, obviously we've had a look around all of the cars in the collection. I thought I'd ask you a few little questions, probably things that the viewers are probably wondering as well about the collection. So obviously we know that the 355 is the first car you bought. What is your favourite? And I know that's probably going to be a really tricky question.
Yes, exactly. It's sort of like asking what's your favourite children or your favourite car. But yes, it's difficult because it depends on the mood really. Sometimes a convertible car is the best. Sometimes you just want brute speed. Sometimes you want something with a bit more ground clearance so you can actually get out of the drive.
Now, first impressions, it's rather loud in here. Very loud.
Yeah, it's also very wide.
Yes, it is. Well, I'm sat on what would be normally the driver's side, so it is kind of a bit when you go around a corner.
Yeah, your big problem is going to be the fact that you're hung out over the white line.
Yeah, well, I am right now, yeah.
And also I quite like driving in the middle of the road, so it's even more scary.
Now I think probably one of the questions which I can imagine a lot of people are wondering is what cars do you have on the way? Now I know that you have probably got 20 cars in the collection already.
Yep.
What do you have on order?
Well, I mean, it's not as many as you think would be the first thing. So we've got a 488 Pista is imminent. So that one's been spec'd and should be arriving within the next 4 or 5 months, probably at the latest.
Exciting.
We've got an 812 Superfast, so that's going to be coming probably another couple of months after that. And that's pretty much it for Ferrari in terms of what's officially coming. Obviously, I'd like to have a 488 Pista Spyder. I'd like one of those, and I would like the 812 Superfast.
Super fast.
But we don't really know too much about those. I'm not getting a Monza. I'm not that good a Ferrari customer.
Says someone driving in a 40.
Yeah, gets you some kudos, but not that much.
Yeah.
And then I think other brand-wise, on the Porsche side, I'm hoping to get one of the new Boxster Spyders.
Nice. Yeah.
So that should be coming out or being announced fairly soon.
Yeah.
So it's a 2019 car, but it's going to have the GT3 engine. So it's going to be Boxster shape and size, but with that massively more powerful GT3 engine. So I'm looking forward to that. I would like to think that I may be able to get one of the new Speedsters.
They're cool. I like those.
Yeah, I quite like that. They're going to make 1948, so it's quite a few of them.
Yeah.
So the chances of getting one are a little bit better. So
I like with that car how the concept, which I saw at Goodwood Festival Speed. I think were you at Festival Speed as well?
Yep.
Because that wasn't the actual production car, and I like how they've kept quite a large amount of the kind of aspects of the concept car. Like the mirrors. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to the mirrors, but
they're sort of like little inverted cones, aren't they?
They're so nice.
Yeah.
That's the kind of car which would really suit like a heritage livery. White dot on the side.
And it's got a centre fill cap as well, so fuel in the back. Yeah. So I'm kind of hoping that I'd be down for a Speedster. I think there's probably something else on the Porsche side, but I can't really. What am I thinking? I do actually have. I've been sent by Porsche an order form for the new 935 track special.
Have you?
Yeah. Now I don't think for a minute that I'm going to get one of those, but I have at least got through the first cut.
That's super cool.
Yeah, but I think judging by the questions they're asking in the form, I think they're looking for serious motorsport people to get those cars.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think I've got the pedigree, sadly.
Yeah.
That was close.
Yeah.
That was close.
No,
So,
I
yeah.
think they're not road legal though.
No, track only.
Yeah.
So are you ready to feel an F40?
I'm ready.
I mean, we've got to make sure that we're on at least a 2 mile straight. Otherwise, we're dead. Let's see what happens. Let's make sure we're okay.
God, it really does kick you, doesn't it?
No idea if we're going to stop. No idea. Maybe we are. You can hear that whistle though all the time. It's just amazing.
Going to round up today's video pretty damn nicely, coming along here today to check out Damian's car collection and then going out in his F40. So a huge thank you to you, Damian, for that. I'm sure you guys already know about Damian's channel, The Car Guys. If you don't, I'll put all the links down in the description down below for you guys to go check out. You've overtaken me in subscribers, I noticed.
Oh yeah, by, I don't know, 4,000.
Yeah. So yeah, go check out some of his content if you want to see more about his unbelievable collection and what is to come in 2019, because as you've just heard, there are some pretty juicy things. But anyway, that is it from me now. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, please do make sure you leave a like and make sure you subscribe for all the adventures still to come.